Good morning, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan. Let's begin with the top stories this hour. Dispute emerged among the central, provincial and local level governments regarding the distribution of government resources. Prime Minister Oli says recent tax controversies are unnecessary hoax. 3 years since the promulgation of the Constitution, 8 Constitutional Commission is still a far cry affecting important government works. Powerful 7.3 magnitude earthquake rocks the northern Venezuelan coast. Tremors felt as far as capital, Caracas. And Sanju Chowdhury breaks 3 national records in weightlifting. Siris Gurung carries out of the preliminary heats of the 50-meter freestyle swimming. Let's begin with the latest national political updates. Disputes have emerged among the central, provincial and local level governments regarding the distribution of government resources. The leaders of the ruling party themselves have questioned the implementation of Constitution over the local level's recent tax hike. After the formation of the 3 levels of governments, the public had expected for an immediate implementation of the Constitution. As all the 3 levels of governments also had the right to operate independently, service delivery and development works were expected to gain momentum. However, the local level's recent decision of raising and charging taxes arbitrarily has put a question mark on each government's power and jurisdiction. A few leaders have opined that the tax dispute has created an impediment in implementing federalism. Professor Krishna Khanal has credited the situation to lack of preparations. People's representatives have said they are facing difficulty in service delivery and expediting development projects due to the lack of infrastructure, law and staff. Likewise, the Chief Minister for Province 7, Trilochan Bhatta, has said the centre's failure to clearly state the jurisdiction of the federal, provincial and local levels and the absence of a financial commission has challenged the implementation of federalism. Despite the lapse of 6 months, none of the 7 provinces have produced any remarkable result. The country adapted federalism to give the general public better access to resources and the government. This was expected to boost development work and relieve the public of their problems. The provincial or the local level government still has not learned to work independently, even for minor works, while in a sharp contrast, the local levels have also been found to have misused the authority as seen from their tax hike. And moving on, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has said the recent tax controversies are unnecessary hoaxes. Addressing the press at Biratnagar Airport yesterday afternoon, Prime Minister Oli claimed that Nepal has one of the lowest tax rates in the world. Premier Oli visited Biratnagar for the inauguration of Sri Krishna Gosadan biogas plant. During the inaugural ceremony, Premier Oli said alternative energy resources would be used to minimize trade deficit. Prime Minister Oli was accompanied by Province Chief Govinda Bahadur Tumbahang, Energy Minister Barsaman Poon, Law Minister Bhanubhakta Jagal, among others. Despite 3 years since the promulgation of the Constitution, the government has not been able to form the required 8 constitutional commissions. This has mainly affected tax-related disputes resolution, among other important government works. The government has changed 4 times and 3 levels of elections were successfully held since the Constitution was promulgated 3 years ago. It has also been 6 months since the 2/3 majority government led by KP Sharma Oli was formed. However, neither the previous 3 governments nor the Oli-led government has prioritized forming these important constitutional commissions. Prior to the implementation of the new Constitution, the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority (CIAA), Election Commission, Office of the Attorney General, Public Service Commission and National Human Rights Commission were considered constitutional bodies. The new Constitution requires a Fiscal Commission, Women Commission, Inclusive Commission, Dalit Commission, National Aborigines Commission, Madesi Commission, Tharu Commission and Muslim Commission. While the already existing CIAA has been operating without a leadership for the past 7 months, it is still uncertain when these additional 8 commissions will be formed. As a small start, the Constitutional Council has called for interested candidates to apply for posts at these new commissions. However, the step still seems too small to show that the Council is serious about the issue. The dominance of network of vegetable vendors ripping off both farmers and consumers has been increasing by the day. Vegetable businessmen who are used to squeezing the farmers' margin and charging consumers high prices have shut the businesses at the Kalimati vegetable and fruit market yesterday after the government initiated inspections of the market. The Kalimati vegetable and fruit market is the country's largest vegetable market. Vendors who buy cauliflowers from farmers at 25 rupees per kilogram have been found to be selling the same produce for as high as 125 rupees per kilogram. The rates have been found to multiply in a similar manner for other vegetables as well. After numerous complaints filed at concerned government authorities, the government sent a team to inspect the market early Monday morning at around 3 a.m. However, the vendors held the monitoring team for up to 3 hours asking for official papers. After exhibiting such unlawful practice, the police intervened and took a few vendors into custody, which halted all transactions by the Kalimati Vegetable and Fruits Association. The market sells more than 600 tons of vegetables every day. In order to alleviate the growing monopoly of the vendors whose pricing had affected both farmers and consumers, the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supply had formed a committee in coordination with the Ministry's Joint Secretary Navaraj Dakal. Government officials have said once the Consumer Protection Act is amended, it will automatically end the vendors' monopoly. However, more than the lack of new rules, the lack of implementation of rules that are already there has let the vendors have their say. And it's now time for a short break. More news when we come back. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. It's now time for our segment Public Voice.
Public Voice.
रूपन्देहीमा पछिल्लो समयमा लुम्बिनी केन्द्रित ठूला पर्यटकीय होटल र उद्योग व्यवसाय खुल्ने क्रम बढेको छ। यो सँगै सामान्य युवादेखि उच्च शिक्षा लिएका विज्ञ जनशक्तिको समेत आवश्यकता बढेको छ। यो आवश्यकता पूरा गर्न विदेशमा उच्च शिक्षा लिएका सिप र राम्रै कमाई गरेका युवा समेत स्वदेशमा फर्केर काम थालेका छन्। आज हामीले रूपन्देहीका युवाहरूलाई सोधेका छौं, तपाई विदेशको सट्टा स्वदेशमै फर्केर किन काम थाल्नुभयो?
हाम्रो देशमै केही छ अनि देशमै केही गर्न सकिन्छ भन्ने हिसाबले चाहिँ नेपालमा फर्के।
विदेशमा मैले 16-17 वर्ष चाहिँ काम गरेपछि केही पुँजी जम्मा गरेर नेपालमा आएर आफ्नै देशमा चाहिँ केही गरौँ भन्ने मेरो मनसायले देशकै सेवाको लागि अहिले आएर यो चौडामा चाहिँ मिष्टान्न भण्डार खोलेर चाहिँ काम गर्दैछु।
विदेश भन्दा पनि यहाँ अपर्च्युनिटी छ। आफू त्यहाँ जस्तै हामी 2 लाख 3 लाख त्यहाँ महिनाको कमाइन्थ्यो, यहाँ आएर पनि मेरो भोलि भविष्यमा आफ्नो होटल बनाइयो भने अथवा एउटा रेस्टुरेन्ट नै बनाउँला अथवा कुनै आउटलेट खोलौँला, त्यसमा पनि कमाउन सकिन्छ।
कामलाई अझै सरल तरिकाले मिठो तरिकाले कसरी गर्न सकिन्छ भन्ने एउटा उद्देश्य लिएर म फर्केको छु।
अहिले नै विदेश सरह सबै युवाले स्वदेशमै रोजगारी पाउने र रकम कमाउन सक्ने अवस्था अझै बनेको छैन। तैपनि आफ्नो सिप र शिक्षाको उपयोग हुने अवस्था बन्दै गएको छ। यो अवस्था देखेर विदेशको सिप, रकम र क्षमता बोकेर आएका युवाहरूलाई व्यवस्थापन गर्न राज्यले पनि प्रभावकारी कदम चाल्नुपर्ने देखिन्छ।
And now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with their opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what's your take on the protest staged by vegetable vendors? Your options are option A, intentions for monopoly, and option B, reaction to seasonal monitoring. The voting for that question is on. Type any WS selector option A or B and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And now time for a sports update.
Sports News.
Sanju Chowdhury broke 3 national records in weightlifting at the ongoing Asian Games in Indonesia, while the performance of other weightlifters was poor. Sanju recorded 3 national records in the 53 kilogram weight category: snatch, clean and jerk, and total weight. She lifted 72 kilograms in snatch and broke her own national record. Likewise, she lifted 86 kilograms in clean and jerk and 158 kilograms in total weight to record new national records under her name. Although Sanju broke 3 national records, she ended up being last among the 12 weightlifters in the competition. Kamal Bahadur Adhikari will be competing in weightlifting today. Meanwhile, in Taekwondo, Olympian Nisa Rawal crashed out of the pre-quarterfinals, losing to Gao Pan of China in the women's above 67 kilogram weight category by a huge margin of 22 points to 6. In the women's under 57 kilogram weight category, Nepal's Gani Chunara was thrashed by Pauline Lopez of the Philippines, 20 points to 0. Nepal performed poorly in the men's 80 kilogram weight category as well. Anuj Pujari crashed out of the first round after being thrashed by Ruslan Japarov of Kazakhstan, 21 points to 0. Meanwhile, in swimming, Suresh Gurung crashed out of the preliminary heats of the 50-meter freestyle. At the preliminary heats held at the Aquatic Center in Jakarta, Suresh came in third position but failed to qualify for the second round. He completed his swim in 26.33 seconds. Out of the 51 swimmers who competed in the 50-meter freestyle, Suresh secured the 46th spot. He has a national record of 25.53 seconds under his name. Suresh still has 2 more swimming events to compete in. Likewise, in Wushu South Asian Games, silver medalist Yuvraj Thapa performed well in Nankwan under men's Taolu but failed to secure a medal. He defeated 6 of his competitors, including 3 from South Asia. Meanwhile, in fencing, both the Nepalese players bowed out of the men's fall event. In Group D, Mahesh Prasad Bhatta lost to players from Vietnam and China, while Sanjeev Lama lost to players from Qatar, Japan, Korea, Malaysia and Indonesia. And here's a look at the top stories one more time. Dispute emerged among the central, provincial and local level governments regarding the distribution of government resources. Prime Minister Oli says recent tax controversies are unnecessary hoaxes. 3 years since the promulgation of the Constitution, 8 Constitutional Commission is still a far cry affecting important government works. A powerful 7.3 magnitude earthquake rocks the northern Venezuelan coast. Tremors felt as far as capital Caracas. And Sanju Chowdhury breaks 3 national records in weightlifting. Suresh Gurung crashes out of the preliminary heats of the 50-meter freestyle shooting. And those were our latest headlines. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 a.m. Good day.